Hi guys, I thought I would do a video comparison between a G-Wagon and a Defender. I have a 4-cylinder Defender and the G63 is a V8 beast, so I will not be talking about engine performance between the two vehicles in this video. I did, however, test drove the Defender V8 and I would say it's almost up there with the AMG in terms of engine performance. My Defender and the V8 Defender that I test drove both have the air suspension. I think with the air suspension in general, you're not going to get that sharp handling with coil springs like the G63. Starting off with looks and styling wise, I love both of these trucks. I used to have a Jeep Wrangler and I think I love that square shaped SUV style with the spare tire mounted on the back. And if I'm correct, besides the Jeep Wrangler and the Ford Bronco, both the Defender and the G-Wagon are the only SUVs with the spare tire mounted on the back currently for sale in the US. I think the majority of the people would choose the G-Wagon over the Defender for many reasons, like because of its looks, popularity, technology, and reliability. Not sure how to put it, but I think driving the Defender is more subtle and less in your face kind of way. Anyways, I love both of these designs. Driving wise, the G-Wagon actually feels more like a sports car and the Defender feels more rugged. Maybe because I have off-road tires on it. I don't know if it's just because the G-Class is an AMG and that it feels very sporty with precise handling. I have never driven a regular G-Wagon, so I don't know what that's like. So after owning a Jeep Wrangler, the Defender feels like a refined Jeep. Definitely more luxurious than a Wrangler, but less than the G-Wagon. The G-Wagon has these rotation buttons on the steering wheel for different modes that makes it feel even more sporty. So when I test drove the V8 Defender, it was not as loud as the G63, and it handled just like my regular Defender. On paper, both trucks are similar to size. The Defender is about 6 inches longer than the G-Wagon. The Defender is definitely more roomy overall, however the G63 has more headroom. The G63 seats 5 people with no option for a third row. My Defender can sit up to 7 people because I have the optional third row. I don't think you can get this option anymore on the 110 models because they have the 130 models now with the dedicated third row. I don't use the third row often at all, but it's nice to have it when I need it. The G63 cabin actually feels quite snug to me, both from the driver and the second row. Not that it's a bad thing at all. The windshield is very upright and the dash is short, and you have these 2 large screens and all these buttons, and the seats are dynamic, so you get that feeling that this cabin wraps around you. As for the Defender, you definitely feel more roomy overall and more legroom for sure in the second row. Once I got used to the size of the G-Wagon, it actually feels smaller than the Defender. It feels more compact and shorter in length. The G-Wagon feels more similar to a Jeep. They both have protruding fender flares. The Defender feels more like a normal SUV. For cargo space, I would say both are very similar. Again, the G-Class is a little taller, but visually you can see that both are somewhat the same in size. As for the driving position, the window line on the G-Wagon is lower. That probably gives it the impression that you are sitting up high. And you do actually sit higher in the G-Wagon for sure, so visibility is great and it gives you that feeling that you are king of the road. Because the Defender is on air suspension, it has an access mode that lowers the truck, so it makes it super easy for me to slide in and out. With the G63, it does not have air suspension. I feel like I have to climb in. It still has coil springs but with adaptive damping, and because of that, it feels more grounded when driving. I don't really feel the body rolls when turning, and also because it has dynamic seats, when you're turning, the seats move and hug you. I think both of these SUVs are bad on gas, but if you're driving these, MPG is not really your concern. In the interior, the G-Wagon definitely feels more premium and upscale with leather wrapped everywhere. All the buttons and the way they operate feels more premium. Even with the top of the line V8 Defender, it just doesn't compare up to the G-Class. Don't get me wrong, I still love the Defender interior design, but as far as quality, hands down goes to the G-Wagon. Especially at night too with the ambient lighting, it just looks awesome throughout. The Defender does have ambient lighting, it's just not as lit and well done as Mercedes in general. Mercedes ambient lighting is on another level. I don't think there's any cars on the market that can compare to them. In terms of technology, the G-Wagon also wins over the Defender. I mean, just look at it. If you saw my G-Wagon video, my only complaint about the infotainment system was that it's not a touchscreen. I am so glad that they changed that on the updated 2025 G-Wagon. So even in this current system, there's no lag, everything does what it's supposed to. In the infotainment system itself, graphically, the G-Class is just well designed than the Defender. As for the Defender, you just can't compare the technology to the G-Class. Land Rover technology is nowhere near Mercedes. If you saw my Defender videos, you know I had some issues with the infotainment system, especially with the Bluetooth and the speakers. In regards to the stereo system, both SUVs sounds okay. I thought the Burmester would sound better than the Meridian in the Defender, but I just wasn't impressed. Quality-wise though, the Burmester is way better than Meridians. I hate Meridians in Land Rover Jaguar products. They are so unreliable, the speakers can't handle certain songs, it would create these staticky and vibration noises, and it's just annoying at times. As for the safety technologies, I personally just use the blind spot monitor and I rely on the sensors and the camera surrounding the car, and both of these SUVs come standard with those. The Defender does seem outdated compared to the G-Class. For example, the adaptive cruise control on the Defender is very jerky, so I actually don't even use it at all. I had the G-Wagon for a week, which was not very long. During the time I had it, nothing went wrong except one day the ambient lighting went out on all sides except for the driver's side. It reset itself the following day. About my Defender, if you follow my car journey, you know I had and still have a couple of problems with it. You can click on the top right hand corner to watch that video. I would say Mercedes is more reliable than the Land Rover for sure. Jaguar and Land Rover have put out some amazing looking cars, not to say that Mercedes hasn't, but I do love all the Jaguar Land Rover designs. I would love a G63, but I think for switching cars so often for so many years now, I'm actually content with my Defender. I recently did some minor updates to it, and I'll make a video about it soon. While the G-Class is undeniably luxurious and powerful, and it offers exceptional performance with advanced features, I can't justify the price of the G63. I think you can find the whole package for $100,000 less in the V8 Defender. Both SUVs are iconic and capable off-road, so it comes down to your preference and maybe priorities. I just love that this boxy design trend is here to stay. There's something timeless and appealing about the clean lines and geometric shapes on a car design. And you can see this trend on the new vehicle like the Land Cruiser, Lexus GX, and the 4Runner. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below, and until the next video.